The 100-year haulers, we're trawling again. We'll show you disaster, our laughter and pain. We'll show you the fishing and stand proud once more. The sea flows in our blood, so be damned to the shore. And whatever fate send, we'll live till the end, our life on the northern shore.
Remote Theatre Company has been based in Hull now for 4 years, and we felt it was very important, firstly, to do a play with a subject matter that is relevant to the area, namely the fishing industry, and secondly, to try and involve local people directly in the creation of the play. Obviously, as a theatre company working with people who have done a job which is very different from theatre, there is a gap that you have to close, I think. But we've had no trouble at all with people being willing to tell us their stories, quite the opposite.
It looks fairly easy now while the ship's in dock, but what would it be like in bad weather when you're steaming into the weather?
Well, just say you were steaming down to the fishing grounds. Imagine steaming 11 or 12 knots into a force 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Everything looks beautifully, but imagine that rail and that rail all underwater, climbing up in the air.
Yeah.
50, 60, 70 foot in the air and smashing down on the seas.
So the seas would come right over the top?
Bury all that fork's length. The lot would go down. That goes right down into the sea. Then you scoop the water up, and then you can't see nothing. All these hatches, all your rails, all your winches covered.
Even right up to the bridge?
As high as them portholes there, just under the windows, seas, just banging aboard, you're just banging all the time.
The weather conditions you worked in, it's almost beyond human description.
The wind would be that fierce you'd get frostbite on your face.
You could hardly look into the weather because your eyeballs couldn't stand the cold.
Your feet would be frozen in your boots.
Your mittens would be lumps of ice.
And as the nets came out the water, the ice would be forming solid across the meshes.
And the fish would fall out frozen onto the deck. You couldn't even get a knife into them.
And the seas would be coming at you big as houses. And when she stuck a rail under, she stuck it under.
As your bank came aboard and you let go of the cod, they dropped out. And the cod, within seconds, was as like steel. Yeah. Solid, you couldn't get your fingers through them. Sometimes you used to throw them down with the guts in. But most of the skippers used to say, gut them.
And you gutted, and you gutted, and you gutted.
When you talk about fish, some people imagine 2 or 3 lay there, but you could have had 200 or 300 baskets.
What you call a double bag.
It was all rushed, but it was teamwork. And if one man missed, the whole team was in.
And you gutted, and you gutted, and you gutted.
Today is very important, really, for the actors. It's crucial that they understand the detail of the work that they explain within the play, and of course that they have chance to come aboard a trawler, get the feel, the atmosphere, and fully understand what it is they're talking about.
Experience told me that if I got a Jolson, you see,
Which is...
that's another long way with a hook on it.
Oh yeah,
Hooked it into this independent wire, heaved it up and dropped it clear, then I would have had all the slack I needed to get it out of the hook.
Oh yes.
Anyway, in the process of doing this, the skipper was turned in, the mate was up there, shouting, you know, don't mess about like that, get the effing
Don't
job
bother
done
with
this
the
way.
Jolson, just
Yeah.
carry on.
So of course,
as quick as
I
possible.
put my hand on it to try and pull some through to get it out of this hook,
Yes.
and it pulled tight on my hand.
My hand was caught between the door. All I could feel was the sense of something crunching in my glove. It was a weird feeling, and every time the ship rolled, it pulled my hand further in. The only way to get out was to heave on the gear. and as the warps came up onto the winch, I pulled my hand out. By this time, my mitten was in shreds. My glove and my hand was torn to ribbons. I took my glove off and turned it upside down, and what was left of my finger fell out.
In such severe conditions, didn't you ever think of doing anything else for a living as opposed to carrying on doing this?
Every trip. You used to say this is my last. But
But
when you
you'd
got
still go
home,
back.
yeah, you had a feeling that you'd achieved something. You cheated. You know, you was there, and you was going back. I mean, I can remember when 60 men was lost in one night in 3 ships, and every week somebody was lost at sea. They only used to get a little bit of a paragraph in the paper, and loads of our mates, they went away to sea. They was never seen no more. Ships disappeared. Men got lost. There was a different breed of men, different from shore people. They was generous, you know, although there was drunkards at times, they'd give their lives away, most of them. Good workers, hard workers.
I went down the dock, just that once. I thought I'll just go and have a look. And I stood against the bullnose. I thought of all the hundreds of ships that had passed in and out. All the hundreds of men shouting, "So long, Charlie, so long, George." And you saw them sail away into the distance. And a lot of them never came back. A lot of them were washed overboard. A lot of them were injured. And if you walk down there late at night, you can see these people. You can feel them. You can feel them on the dock, even though it's bare. The ghosts of them. They was great men. There's nothing left now. Nothing left for any of us that liked our life. It was hard. It was wonderful though. Some of it.